This bread is one of my all-time favorites. When I make it, people always ask me for the recipe. All right, let's get started. Here, I'm using a scale to measure out 210 grams of white flour, which I'll transfer to the larger bowl. Next, 150 grams of rye flour. I find that the rye flour benefits from being sifted. Add 3/4 cup of room temperature water. This will help the dough rise. Add a 1/2 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of melted butter, which you will want to make sure it has cooled to not kill the sourdough. 2 teaspoons of salt, and 65 grams of sourdough starter. The order in which you put all the ingredients does not quite matter. It's all going to be blended up together. Now is a good time to feed your starter if you're going to be baking again soon. Stir until all the ingredients are incorporated. Using a bread spoon is best. Then let the dough sit for a 1/2 hour before you perform your first stretch and fold. Here you can stretch and fold with the spoon, then you can get your hands involved too. Make sure to wet your hands before doing so. I love to feel the dough and taste the dough. Here, option to spread some caraway seeds on top and put the bread to rest. And now I'll peek out the kitchen sink window to check on my children. All is good. It's a beautiful winter day. Your dough will rise quicker in a warmer home. So check to see that your dough is nearly doubled or is starting to have some bubbles. Flour your hands to scrape out the dough. This bread is a denser bread, so it doesn't get as fluffy and airy as those white classic loaves. Now, my favorite tool, the bench scraper. Since I doubled the recipe, I'm cutting it in half and using it to shape. I'm always doubling recipes for things go fast in our home, and if not, I can always freeze it. So when shaping the dough, allow your intuition to flow. I kind of just fold it a couple times like an envelope, and then I'm going to put the seam underneath. So here I'm going to fold it again and curl that seam inwards. And then using the bench scraper to scoop it up and place it into my loaf pan, which is prepared with parchment paper. Sourdough is very sticky, so even if you oil up your pan, it will be hard to get out. Option to brush the top with water. Some people do egg yolk, oil, and then I'm going to sprinkle caraway seeds on top, and this helps them to stick. And then we say goodnight for the second rise. Bench scrapers are also great for cleaning up. They really scrape off any hard clunks on your counter, so great purchase. Definitely check out my link in my description. Here you have the option to proof it in the fridge overnight or for 24 hours. I enjoy this because then I can wake up, put the bread in the oven, and we have fresh, warm bread ready to go. So in the morning, I take my bread out the fridge and preheat the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Just before placing in the oven, I will score the bread with a razor or a very sharp knife. This loaf cooks at 425 for 10 minutes, then we lower to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and cook for another 30 to 35 minutes. No. You want the bread at about 200 degrees Fahrenheit, placing the thermometer to the middle of the loaf. The bread will continue to cook, sitting in the pans. Now be patient, let cool for 30 minutes to an hour. You can take them out of the pans to let them cool faster. What? Be sure to have a good serrated knife for cutting the bread. Here I'm going to place some grass-fed butter on the toast and put another piece on top to help it melt. Then I'll be serving with a cannellini bean soup that I blended up so the kids would eat all the vegetables. And now, chef always needs to taste before serving. All right, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and please let me know if you have any questions. Love and nourishment to you.